So today Floki is crashing like there's no tomorrow, and all I'm doing is dollar cost averaging. More details to follow, and with that, of course, I'm the most open-minded investor slash NFT artist on YouTube
with a diverse appetite for risky asset classes ranging between shopping centers and shitcoins, but not government bonds, creating contact-led, family-friendly, cookie-accepting, cat-free, technical and specialized tutorials and guidelines to harness the generational wealth transfer found in crypto trends. And last, as a believer, Jesus Christ, and a fan of dairy, and an extremely well-educated and mostly lingual Korean, but with hair naturally curlier than the average male and highly coveted by many moms and daughters, also known as Humble Kim.
Today, we're looking at the chart for Floki. If you're feeling pretty down because the chart is down, well, you're not alone, but that's okay because we can manage these positions. Now, before I start, I'd like to let you know that I'm just an idiot on the internet. You don't have to follow what I say. You don't have to copy what I say. In fact, I don't want you to do that. I'd rather you go into your own research when it comes to trading or investing into crypto or anything else for that matter. I'm just an idiot. I'm just a hobbyist that shares what I'm doing. I don't tell you what to buy. I don't tell you what to sell. I don't tell you when to buy something, and I don't tell you when to sell. I'm just sharing you my experience with you. So here, I'm just applying some technical analysis into this chart at the moment. We're seeing that there has been a violent move downwards as well. And all I'm doing is just lowering the average cost of acquisition. I have just added more position at this extreme low that we're in right now. Well, my reasoning for that is obviously because we're looking at the RSIs in a very, very big dip on a 12-hour chart. As you all know, RSIs mean more when you look at a larger time frame, and the larger time frame has bigger effect on smaller coins like Floki than it does, for example, on Bitcoin. So that being said, we're looking at the other times when we did actually dip that far into the oversold regions, and those happened back in January 2022. And when that had happened, we have seen a whopping gain of about 60%, which is very, very encouraging to see. So that being said, I am actually reducing my average. Now, why does anybody want to reduce their average? Okay, well, let's say we've reduced our average, and these are the positions that I was able to get into. Let's say the price dip a little bit further, but it corrects and gets to the first time that I've actually made a trade. Well, what kind of money am I going to actually make? Let's say I put in $100 trades per trade. Okay, so I'm putting $100 at a time. If I put $100 at a time, this position here to that first trade, or to that very top, will make 53%, and the second trade that I've done will make 10%. Okay, so that's 10%, 9.55%. And the first position I will actually break even. So I risked $300, but what I will be making is I'll be making $50 plus $10. So that's about what? $65 on $300, which is a pretty good gain, and in a reasonably short amount of time. Not to mention, we are actually in a very, very big dip from our nearest top. And it actually clocks in the price of our acquisition about 95% corrected from the top. Okay, so these are very comfortable zones that I'd like to buy in, because you know what, I'd rather buy in here than buy in here, guys. I understand a lot of you guys actually enter the market around here because that's where you've been the victim of FOMO, right? Victim of your own FOMO, right? There's a lot of news coverage on the moon that we just experienced, and nowadays there's really not much chatter on Floki. So why would anyone want to invest? But I'd say now is a much better time to get in than other times. And of course that applies for me. For you, you might have a different standard, and that's okay. So that being said, why did I then also get into this particular price action that we're in right now? Well, I'm actually looking at the chart from Polonix, and then I don't know if this is a right way to look at this chart or not, but I can just only assume that this is yet another support because we have wicked down at this particular candlestick back in January. This may have been a moment of illiquidity in the marketplace, and that was just Polonix's way of correcting it. But I'd say that is a really, really interesting zone, because that means that in the past there was, I guess, market makers or even whales or some sort of buying pressure that came in at those levels, which is what we're hitting exactly right now. That was represented by this one only exchange, but obviously in other exchanges where funds are a little bit more liquid, we did not see those wicks happen. So that being the case, I'll be inclined to think that there is a chance that this would be the bottom, and we may be reversing out of this as well. So that's what really excites me about the position of Floki right now. And of course, if we were to go back to the nearest moon, we're looking at 18 to 20x gain, which is quite interesting. And if you look at the historical charts of Doge, is that every moon is beaten by yet another moon. And when that happens, well, we're going to be looking at gains well above 20x. Obviously, the losses on its way down is a lot less than the gains that you're going to make on its way up if you're making the same size trades. That's what the beauty of DCA is. And of course, now looking at some of the news that's surrounding Floki, we did have a look at that Bybit listing and we did vote very, very hard, and we did really well, guys. So well done out there, guys. But Bybit, unfortunately, we did not win the buy votes for the listing of Floki, although we would love to see that. As you know, I push Bybit a lot, and that's because Bybit is truly one of the best exchanges around the world. And Floki is very close to being listed on it. And with the additional volume and the marketing that Bybit's going to bring, I genuinely feel like that we're going to experience at least a small bounce that we're going to get from Floki. And because a lot of you trading on Bybit obviously want to trade Floki because that's why you're watching my channel. And obviously we want this coin listed. But we came on a strong second with 12 million votes as opposed to 30 million votes. And other coins coming third to the about 6th places there. Baby Doge only came in at 4 million, which is I think is worth noting. Come to show that in the Binance Smart Chain network, Floki is one of the leading coins. That being said, I think if BuyVote was to have a second round of voting, I think Floki will be one of the very strong contenders to be winning and taking the lead and getting a listing of BuyVotes, which is really, really exciting. Let's just bring our social momentum back into the game, guys. That's what we need to do. But having said that, FMFWIO put out a tweet saying that what would you do if you had $44 billion? What coin would you buy out of Ethereum, Binance, Floki, and Near? Floki came in at an overwhelming first at 70% votes. And that's really interesting to see because I'm pretty sure Ethereum, Binance, and Near are accounts on Twitter that has way more followers, and Floki is sitting around 337,000 followers have actually responded to this tweet, indicating there's quite a lot of engagement among all the Floki Vikings, which is very encouraging to see, of course. And of course, we have entered into the London CBD to be advertising this coin, which is really exciting to see. And I've obviously done a coverage on that previously, although there is some drama on that and drama and controversy around that too. Now, that being said, guys, the fundamentals are actually pointing us in the right direction. No, we don't expect fundamentals to reflect out onto the market immediately. The market is not that rational, but the chart in itself is affecting the psychology of the traders even more. So when we see a dumping chart, then people are driven to pull out of the market, which is totally fine to see. And in that time, we don't know when the reversal is exactly going to be, but we can only manage our positions a lot better. So this is what I am doing. Hope you guys stay safe and become profitable out there. If you haven't done so, make sure you check out the link below so that you're trading on the right exchanges and you're not getting fished off, these scammer websites as well. And of course, you'll be getting some discounted trading rates as well, which is exactly what you want. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so, make sure you go smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.